Wyuna. That too was built in Scotland. She was built in 1953 for the Port Phillip Sea Pilots as a pilot cutter. Her role was to sail with pilots on board to meet ships entering and leaving Port Phillip Bay. Pilots would be transferred by the Wyuna to the vessel requiring pilotage. In 1979, the Wyuna was sold to the Australian Maritime College in Tasmania as a training vessel. She continued in that role until 2004, then sold to Mineralogy Priority Limited, who later sold the ship to a successful Perth businesswoman, Gillian Swaby. In September 2013, she was donated to the VMC.
Handing over the Wyuna tonight was extremely important to me because I really feel she's going back to where she truly should be. She's going back to her home and she'll be coming back to Melbourne, and that's actually where she belongs.
After 18 months of restoration, the vessel is still in Tasmania, awaiting a berth in Melbourne. For more information on the vessels, check out our website and YouTube channel. You can also follow the VMC on their Facebook presence and podcast channel. What most people are unaware of is that the VMC also has an incredible museum. The collection of artefacts, models and paraphernalia has been sourced, collected and donated over the last near 20 years. Audio-visual displays show the history of the museum, Otama and Wyuna. The VMC has a professional team of retired television producers, a professional edit suite and studios. This team is constantly working on new internal productions and adding to the VMC's YouTube and podcast channels. Much historical information is presented on Otama and Wyuna, but the museum is more than that. The VMC is not just about naval history. Immigration to Australia is also covered in the museum, as the Wyuna played an important role in this area. The Merchant Navy is also represented. Many stories of the Merchant Navy are untold and not duly recognised. This display shows all the merchant ships sunk by the German and Japanese on the Australian coasts during World War II. Few people are aware of how close the enemy was. There are many items of interest within the museum, such as this depth charge, which could be dropped from an aircraft. This underwater mine represents a time when the Ford Motor Car Company stopped making vehicles and went into creating war materials. Set in a lovely natural bushland surrounding are two 40mm Bofor guns that have been fully restored and an old whaler boat waiting restoration. A samurai sword. This has an incredible history. When you visit, ask a volunteer.
Those scrubbers are working all the time.
That's right, yeah.
Scrubbing the CO out of the air. Right. Those candles there, they fire them off,
Volunteers are always there to answer questions. Between them, they have a wealth of knowledge. The George Cross Recipients Wall is a wall of bravery. Each man here died a gallant death, but unrecognised until a few years ago. Visit the wall and learn of their feats. The VMC reveals another untold story, that of Gallipoli. An immense amount of research and history hangs on the entrance to the main display. This latest display tells the story of Commander Stoker and the crew of AE2. The VMC's museum in itself is an untold story, and anyone interested in anything maritime should come and visit us. We are open every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.